Hey guys, my name is Cynthia and welcome to my channel, Graciously Growing. If this is your first time viewing this channel, it is about two things that I love, and that is growing plants and growing in the Word of God. Now today, you guys, I am going to be talking about some plants that I am trying to propagate. And also, I'm going to be talking about one plant that I am trying to rehab. But let's start with propagations. I'm going to show you a very successful propagation that I did last year that I am really excited about. And this is some type of pothos. I want to say it's the same type that is right behind me. And this is a marble queen. I think this is the same plant. So I think this is a marble queen. And what I did was I started this plant with what they call wet sticks. It was dying on me, and so hopefully you can see the wet sticks right here. And so when I put this in the soil, it just had these wet sticks. And I'm going to show you exactly what a wet stick is. And it's now growing into a full plant. And I think I did this, I want to say this is maybe 6 months ago. So I want to show you what I mean in case you don't know what a wet stick is. So I have two propagations going on right now, and I'm going to move the camera down a little bit so that you can see. And first of all, what am I using? I purchased my spinach from my local grocery store, and it comes in these type of containers, and I keep them, so they're really good for propagations because they keeps the moisture in. And so this is my Filadendrum Brazil. I had a Filadendrum Brazil which was just dying on me, and so what I did was I chopped it all up, and I put these fungus gnats are driving me crazy. I think I have a solution to them, but we'll talk about that in another video. But anyway, I put in my soil, moisten the soil, and I stick the wet sticks in the soil. And I think I did this in like maybe October of last year. So let me show you what a wet stick looks like. So what I did was I took the plant and I chopped it up by the nodes. And if you don't know what a node is, it looks like right here. So I chopped it in between the nodes and I stuck it in the soil, and you can see I have a root growing. And so I did that. See if I can put that back, because you want to make sure you keep the roots that are growing in the soil. Let's try another one. See what's, ooh, this one is giving me a lot of resistance right here. I don't think you can see that. Okay. Nah, you really can't see that, but I'm gonna pull it out and show you. So look at this root. Look how long it's gotten. So when I put this in again, it just had the wet stick, but it is growing roots and it's grown a leaf. And so hopefully I'm going to give it a little bit longer, and then I'm going to pot these in a pot. And so I have quite a few wet sticks in here, as you can see. And the way you can tell without pulling them out if they are rooting, if you pull on them and they give you a little resistance, like all of these are, I'm not going to pull all of them out, that means they're rooting. And I'm actually getting some sprouting as well. You can see new sprouts right there. right there, all this lime green right there. There's one sprouting right there, all over. And so I'm going to have quite a bit of new cuttings of my Philodendron Brazil. And like I said, I started this one, I think, in November. And the way I keep this is I really haven't moistened this soil in a while, because once you moisten it, and you don't want to have it where the water's running, you want to moisten the soil and pour out all of the excess water, because you don't want to get root rot, and then you close the lid and it basically keeps the moisture in. Also, you want to make sure it's in a well lighted place, because the plants need light to propagate. Now here's another one, but this one I actually dated, so I know when I did it. From now on, I'm going to try to date my propagations. Again, another salad container. And I put in that I did this on December 27th of last year. And again, this is Philodendron micans. And let's see, do we have any roots? I can tell you we do, because all of them are resistant to me pulling on them. So let's pull one out and see what we have, because December 27th is not that long ago. That's not even a month. So let's pull one out. I don't see anything going on with this one yet, so I'm gonna put it back. Let's try another one. This one feels like it's got something going on. You have to be careful, because you don't want to oh, this one has just the tiniest root. I don't even know if you can see that right there, that little white part. It's beginning to root. So I'm going to put that back. Make sure I get it back in the soil. Okay. Let's try one more that seems like it might be doing something. Here's another one. And you can definitely see that root. You see that white part? That is the beginning of it rooting. And so that is what, oops, I'm dropping dirt. That's what a wet stick is. And so you just you cut between the nodes. And the good thing is you cut between the nodes. If it has a leaf, great. If it doesn't, that's fine as well, because it will grow a leaf. And you'll know, another way you will know that something good is going on is because after a couple of weeks, if the leaves are still green, then you know that something's going on, because they would start dying. Like this one right here may not make it. It looks a little, you know, it looks like it's dying, but I'm going to leave it in because it's still resisting. So it may still sprout up, but all the rest of them are pretty nice and green. So yeah, so I'm going to kind of give you an update. Like I said, I know when I did this one because I have it dated December 27th. I'm not sure when I did the other one, but I think it was in October. Also, I'm experimenting with something. I don't even know if this is going to work. So if you watch my videos, you know that I am plant sitting for a friend of mine, Algonema silverbay, that, you know, was really in bad shape. Well, it's not dying. I'm going to do a video updating you on it in a couple of weeks. It's not dying, but it's not growing either. But it could be, because this is the winter months, it could be, what's the word? I can't think of the word I want to say when plants are not, you know, actively growing. You know what I'm trying to say. It may be dormant right now. That's the word I was looking for. And it may start, you know, sprouting in the spring. But 2 of the stems had rotten to the point where I could just pull it right out the soil. And I was wondering, I said, I wonder, can I propagate them? And so I just did this about 2 weeks ago, so I'm not expecting anything. But here again is some takeout tray, something my daughter brought home, and she threw it in the trash. I took it out and washed it real good because, again, I like the lid for Propogations. And so here are the stem from that Algonema Silver Bay. I don't even know if you can propagate from a wet stick or not. So we're going to see. One thing I can tell you, I've had them in here about 2 weeks. They're not dying. They're still green. So I'm hoping that it will sprout out roots and, you know, create a new plant. But we will see. You guys let me know if that's going to work. Have you tried that, or is that a no-no and I'm wasting my time? Let me know. So also today I wanted to talk about my poor little white wizard. I had this in the video about my, you know, the worst of my work. I think I called it the worst of the worst plants of 2023. But I saw someone else had a philodendron. It wasn't a white wizard, but it was a philodendron, and she had just this part. And what she did was she took it out of soil and she put it in sphagnum moss. And she was saying, and this is, what is her, I think the name of her channel is Jungle Haven. Her name is Clara. I think it's called Jungle Haven. And so she took it out and put it in sphagnum moss. So I said, first of all, let's take it out and see what's going on. Do we have any roots? So we have roots. So I'm going to, and I found out that these little things right here, what did she call these? She called these, oh my goodness, what did she call them? But basically she said you can grow another plant from these little knobs. They're not nodes. She did not call them nodes. The word is eluding me, but she said that you can possibly grow another plant. So I'm gonna see. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to take this to the sink, and I'm going to do my best to, you know, rinse off all of the soil. And then we're going to put it in sphagnum moss and see if we can get this white wizard to grow back. So stay tuned. I'm going to go clean this off, and then I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back. I've gotten it as clean as I can. And the word I was looking for is corm, C-O-R-M. But when I looked closer, that was just a clunk of dirt. So unfortunately, this didn't have a corm. But what she was saying, if you find a corm, I think it's C-O-R-M, in your plant, you can grow another plant. So maybe one day. But this is how she's looking. And I'm going to be using this jar here and fill it up with sphagnum moss. I actually need to go get more sphagnum moss. This is it. Sphagnum moss, you guys, I don't know how pricey it is where maybe you are located, but sphagnum moss is very, very expensive. And so I've been holding on to this last little bit for a while now. I usually use it for my moss poles. So what we're gonna do is put some in the bottom like so. And then I'm going to put the remainder of this plant in there like this. And then I'm going to fill up the remainder of the jar with, now I've seen some people use jars, and one thing I know not to do from the mistakes that they made, if you get a jar that has a really narrow lip, when it's time to take the plant out, you may run into problems. But this particular lip is very wide, so I don't think I'm going to end up having problems taking it out. And I don't know if this is going to work, you guys, but she said when you're trying to regrow a plant that has lost, you know, all of its leaves, but you think you still have a viable root system going on, to try to regrow it into regrow it in sphagnum moss. So this is what we're going to do. So I think that's enough. Okay, and then I'm gonna use this to moisten the moss. I got this from Home Depot. I really like it for watering my moss poles, and also for, like, you know, to get it in areas that are kind of hard to get to. And I think it was maybe $8. It wasn't 10. So I'm just gonna spray the moss, get it all nice and moist. I don't want the water, you know, to be settling at the bottom, causing root rot. So let's see. I do see a little bit of water gathering at the bottom, and so I'm going to pour that out. Yeah. Okay. So I just want the moss to be moist, but not drenched. So you guys, I'm gonna put this back into my IKEA cabinet, and we're going to see if we get any type of growth. I'm hoping I can grow it back. I'm not quite sure what happened. It was doing well. I think I do know what's happened. I actually moved it from the spot that it was growing very happy and healthy in, and I moved it to another area, and it just started going downhill from there. And so I think that was a no-no. And so while we're at it, let's look at any other propagations that I have going on right now. This you can barely see, but look. Oh, let's see if you can see this. Do you see that purple thing right there? That is the new beginning. There you go. Of a white fusion. So if you have been watching my videos, you know that I chopped up my white fusion into 2 pieces. This one right here is doing really well. These 2 leaves are beautiful. It does have another, let me see if I can show you. Ooh, it's hard. Do you see right there? That little, yeah, there you go. That green thing, that's another plant protruding out, but it's been doing really well in my IKEA cabinet. And so I was really about to give up on this one because it's been like this forever, and then there it is. So you never know what's going on, you know, underneath the surface. So don't be so careful. Don't be so quick to give up. What else do I have going on with propagations? I have this Filadendrum BR. She's doing well. A lot of new growth. Initially, it was just this one leaf. And so, I mean, the leaves coming in are really, really tiny. So I don't know. I mean, there's activity going on, but these are very tiny leaves. So hopefully they're gonna size up, but there's something going on. Let's see, what else do I have? As far as, this is not really a propagation. This is more of a rehab, like the white fusion. My, what is this called? Cattleya Rattlesnake has been doing absolutely great since I put her in the cabinet. As you can see, she has 1, 2, and 3. Can you see that? 3. This is the 3rd new leaf coming in. And then the leaves that she already have finally stopped browning, you guys. So I think she's doing great. So I think, I don't know, you know, if I have harsh water in my area or not, because I know a lot of people say calatheas prefer distilled water. But for me, I feel like humidity is more of my problem, because if it was just the water, putting her in the cabinet with the humidity would not have worked. She would still be browning because I'm still using tap water. I do let the tap water sit out. Some people say that works. Some people say it doesn't. Some people say all that does is cause the sediment to sit at the bottom, and you're still getting, you know, water that's not good for certain plants. Who knows? But yeah, I think that is all of the plants that I have currently in rehab. There's one more. My begonia, is that a new growth? I think that is. She stopped browning since she's been in the cabinet, and I think right here, you see that little tiny thing? It's a leaf. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there you go. It's a leaf. Really tiny, but she's no longer crisping at the edges. And so I think there's probably good things going on, you know, underneath the soil. And I think that finally I'm going to be able to grow my begonia. So yeah, you guys, that is what I wanted to share with you this evening. Stay tuned. I'm about to do a water with me in my plant room and kind of just really talk about all of the plants that I have in my plant room, how I have it set up. I have really have been enjoying my plant room. I find myself sometimes even working in here when I don't have to deal with meetings and hearings and that kind of stuff. I just come in here and sit on my couch and write, you know, and do my administrative work, if you will, or write my decisions or whatever I need to do. And it's just really nice and comfortable in here. So yeah, I'm gonna do a water with me in regards to my plant room and give you an update on how the plants are doing in here. Also in the near future, I think I'm gonna wait for 30 days to give you an update on my humidifier that I just purchased. I've had it for about a week. So far so good. What I like about it is really big, and so you don't have to keep continuing to add water to it. I like the fact that it tells me what the temperature is in the room on the front, like it's 75. The relative humidity in this room right now is 75, which is great because the relative humidity in the cabinet, if I can see that, is only 76. So the humidifier, this one is really doing a good job. I also like the fact that you can put it on a timer. So I have it, I think it comes on the same time my Soltec light comes on. And so that's 8 a.m. in the morning, and then it goes off at 9 p.m. It also, and when I do the review, I'll share this with you, but you have an app for the humidifier. And on the app, I can change the time that I want it to, you know, come on. I can turn it off, I can turn it on, I can put it on what I want the humidity to be in the room, and when it gets to that place, it will stop. It also on the app tells you when it's time to add water. Like today, I was working and I got a notification that it needed to be refilled. I was only downstairs, but that was neat. And so it said, you know, humidifier needs to be refilled. And so I came up and did that. It also tells you when you need to clean it. So yeah, so far, so good for the humidifier. The old humidifier I have now put in my office, and trying to get a little bit more humidity in there for my Calatheas, which they're, other than that Cattleya peacock. Oh, that is another rehab. Let's look at that before I end this video. The other Calatheas are doing, you know, pretty well. I don't have anybody dying on me. So let's take a look at this Cattleya. Okay. This poor Cattleya. You guys, I'm so sore. I started working out again today. I used to work out all the time, and then I just stopped. When I'm working out, I feel better. You know, I don't get sick as often, and so I just said today, okay, let me go back to working out, and I'm so sore. But anyway, this is my Cattleya peacock. Now, it only has 3 leaves, but one thing I can say, every day another leaf was browning when it was in my plant room, and that's why it's so sparse. And so I had to just keep cutting leaves and leaves and leaves. I mean, it was browning really bad. So these 3 leaves are still nice and green, no hint of brown. And so I think it is happy in here. And again, I'm hoping that I can't see anything, but I'm hoping that there's a lot of good things going on underneath the soil here, and that by the end of summer, I'll have a full plant. So yeah, you guys, I have to say, from dealing with my Calatheas, humidity is my problem. I don't think the water in my area is affecting them as much as the lack of humidity. And another reason why I believe that's the case, because during the summertime, I had no problem. And keep in mind, I was always using tap water. It wasn't until I turned my heat on for the fall that I started having problems with my Cattleya. So I think it's a humidity thing for me. You know, they are temperamental, but I feel like I can keep them happy as long as I keep the humidity. It looks like I said in here, it's changed. Right now it's 73 relative humidity in the room itself, and then in the cabinet it went up to 78. 80. 80. So I think my Calatheas like 60 to 70 relative humidity, and then anything lower than that, they have a problem. So in my office right now, I have a humidity reader, and I had to close the vent where the heat was coming, kind of closed it a little bit, and the humidity in there is rising. It was at 56, but when I first put the reader in there, it was at 30. It was dry, and because my humidity reader will say dry, okay, or wet. And so like I'll show you here, the one that's in my cabinet. I'm so sorry, you guys, really. So here is the one in my cabinet. Oops. So you see it says 78 wet. So if it goes too low, it'll say dry, or okay, or wet. And so yeah, so let's see what I can do to keep my Calatheas doing well. I have to say, you guys, I don't think I'll be purchasing any new Calatheas right now until I can get these two, the ones I have to do okay. Here's Calathea that's looking right at me. This is my Calathea. I don't even know if I know the name of this Calathea. No. You know, sometimes you get these plants from, if you don't get them from, it says this is a peacock. This is not a Calathea peacock. I don't think it is. I think that the other one I showed you was a peacock. But let me know what you think this is. But anyway, it's doing really well. It's always lived here in my plant room, and it has quite a bit of new growth right there. I thought I saw another one. Yeah, there's one right there. I don't think you can see it though, but there's one right there. Right there. So there's 1, 2. I think that's the only ones I see so far. And it's not crisping either. And so yeah. But I still think that I'm gonna kind of hold off on Calatheas because you guys, they are problematic. So yeah. Until next time, I hope you are having a blessed new year. Like I said, this year, let's all try to be positive, and just when negative things come your way, do your best to talk to yourself, because I have to say, okay, this is not a good situation. This is not what I wanted to happen, but it could be worse. And just, be thankful for all things. And until next time, be blessed.